Big brands that are in most of our cupboards, somewhere on most of our shelves. You might not look that closely at the labels, but even then, you wouldn't know that the company Premier Foods makes every single one. They boast of being the biggest food company in the country and their love of their British suppliers. Working for brands like Ambrosia, they really do make it in Devon.
We know all the local managers and the staff there, so I mean, after that many years working on site, you get to know everyone.
Bob Horsley's had contracts maintaining the Ambrosia factory since 2003, but recently he discovered they wanted him to pay for the privilege.
It's quite amazing, really, isn't it? You wouldn't think they'd put their name down to this.
After more than a decade of work, Premier sent him a letter signed by the chief executive 3 weeks ago that said, "We are aiming to work with a smaller number of strategic suppliers in the future that can better support and invest in our growth ideas. We will now require you to make an investment payment to support our growth." Acknowledging there might be some confusion, he wrote, "I understand this approach might lead to some questions. However, it's important we take the right steps now to support our future growth." When Bob raised questions about the payments, to be made every year, another member of staff replied in an email, "We are looking to obtain an investment payment from our entire supply base. Unfortunately, those who do not participate will be nominated for D-list."
How would you describe that?
Blackmail. I think it's like blackmail, because what they're saying is that if you don't pay this money, then they'll delist you from working for them. I'm just a layman, but I just cannot see what it's like that. You know. Any trust you have in a firm like that is gone, because always used to be with small firms that the larger firm paid you regularly. No trouble at all, always paid up front. They looked after small firms, but this is bad. I don't like this at all.
Bob knows some of Premier's other 1,000 suppliers, some too scared of losing work to speak out. One in another part of the country told us it's like they hold a gun to your head. Another previously asked for more than £70,000 with no guarantee of work, told me they know we can't afford solicitors to fight them. But Premier, who've been struggling financially, told us the programme requires our suppliers to make an annual investment to help fund our growth plans. In return, our suppliers benefit from opportunities to secure a larger slice of our current business. They also stand to gain as our business grows in the future. In the current challenging environment, the support of all our suppliers is crucial, and we've had a positive response from many who are actively engaging in building a new partnership with us, including many small companies.
Premier Foods is one of the biggest manufacturers in the country. The company boasts on its website they work only to the highest ethical standards, and they say they make purchasing decisions based on commercial criteria, on cost, reliability and service. That's not how some of their small suppliers feel.
We have never seen this before. This is the first time that we've ever seen anything so blatant, so obvious, in this very direct way before. We think it's unjust, it's not competitive, it's not helping the supply chain. That Premier Foods certainly don't value their suppliers, it's crippling small businesses, and it's not going to just affect the business owners, it will affect staff as well.
But pay to stay, as it's known, is not unheard of. Some of the supermarkets have been reprimanded before and are now under a stricter set of rules. Asking for money in some circumstances is against the law.
If they've got such a big share of the market, sort of well over 50%, that they can disregard their suppliers, then they may be dominant, and then this practice may be unlawful. You'd still need to assess whether there was a justification for the practice, but if there were none, then it could be unlawful.
Concerns about the wider problem have been raised with ministers and the regulator. But the regulator's reluctant to commit resources unless more businesses come forward. But firms are reluctant to come forward because simply they're scared of losing trade. The result so far, no investigation. Labour attempt to outlaw the practice was recently rejected. But tonight, the government's told us they are concerned by what we've learned and will consider whether the biggest firms should have to declare whether they ask their suppliers to pay just to do business.